Hello everyone and welcome back to Cop.Supply. In this video I'm going to be giving you a broken down overview of Velox, the brand new update that was just recently released at the time of recording this video. So let's go ahead and jump into today's video. Quickly before we go ahead and start, if you're watching this on the Cop.Supply YouTube channel, that's completely fine. We do have a written overview on the Cop.Supply website. I will leave a link to that down below. If you're watching this on the Cop.Supply website, you can hit the YouTube icon inside this player to go to our YouTube channel and check out other overviews. And finally, if you wish to go ahead and join the Cop.Supply in-stock server, this is a server where we've gone ahead and collected loads of services and there's loads of discounts there, so you can go ahead and secure these products for under retail price compared to other people that are outside the group. So let's begin at the analytics page. Before we do that, I do want to cover this section here. It's going to show you which Discord account is binded to the key. So if I hit the drop down, I can see the key. I can hit this button to go ahead and reveal the key, and it shows my expiry, which is 2020, the 31st of December. I can deactivate out of this key and I can go to settings. On settings, it's going to show my Discord AVI, the current version. I can go ahead and update it if there's any available updates. I can essentials import, which will go ahead and open up a file directory. I can configure my monitor delay, recharge delay and timeout delay for notifications based on my tasks and everything that's going on over there. I can configure a Discord/Slack webhook. I can put the URL in there, hit save. I can enable or disable play sounds. I can enable or disable send declines to the URL button here, and I can go ahead and configure AYCD autosolve and connect it once I'm done. From the analytics page, it is pretty simple. For analytics, it will show the date, the product, the store, and the ID for the order, and it will show the money spent, so based on what you check out, the successful checkouts, and also the payment declines. And you can search through all of them by using the search if you go ahead and get loads of cops, and there's loads on this page, and obviously this search will be very handy. Moving over to proxies, you can go ahead and create proxy groups. So that is what we're going to go ahead and do. Let's create one here and let's call it video test, like so. Let's hit this save, and as you guys can see, once we go ahead and enter the proxy group, it will show the IP address, the port, username, password, speed, the actions associated with these proxies. So we're going to go ahead and hit the add proxies button to add proxies to this group. I'm going to go ahead and copy them, put them in here. Alternatively, you can hit the import button, and once again that will open up your file directory. You can go ahead and select the file and import the proxies, but let's hit the save button, and as you guys can see, the proxies have been imported in based on what I copied in. So once you've gone ahead and put proxies in, whether you've imported them or just copied them like I did, you can go ahead and test them or you can delete them. So let's go ahead and test them, and the speed will return here. These are some residential proxies, so the speeds are generally high. If you wish to retest them, then you can, but there you go. And also the test speeds are actually reflected next to the proxies here, which is pretty cool. But let's say you imported, let's say 500 proxies for example, and you tested all of them at once by using this button down here, and let's say some of them failed, some of them didn't. You can hit the clear failed button, and that will go ahead and filter out this proxy list to clear the failed ones, so you're only using the ones that actually return the speed. You can also decide to delete all your proxies if you wish by hitting this button, or using the individual delete button on each proxy, or deleting the proxy group with this button over here. Moving over to profiles, this is where you can go ahead and create profiles to be used on the task page. I'm going to go ahead and break this down. We have the import and export button. The import button is to import profiles into Velox, so obviously we'll open up a file directory, and to export profiles out of Velox that you've created, it will open up a file directory. Once again, you can go ahead and save the type of profile here, and then you can use them elsewhere. But let's click cancel there. Once you actually create a profile, it is segregated into the name, the email, card, region, and actions associated with that created profile. And then the last thing to do here is to go ahead and create a new profile. So let's go ahead and do this, and it's going to ask for this information. So the profile name, the full name, email, phone number, address too, which is optional, city, zip code, country, state, card number, expiry, CVV, and whether you want to enable one checkout per product. Obviously with Supreme this is pretty useless. If you wish to use that, then you can. So I'm going to go ahead and configure this information so I can use it later in the task section. So I've gone ahead and filled out some information here. I'm going to hit the save button. As you guys can see, it goes ahead and creates my profile in the background. It says video test, the email's there, the card is there, and the region is there as well. I can hit this button to go ahead and edit the profile. When I hit save, it will make the appropriate changes, or I can hit the delete button to go ahead and delete it. And finally, you can go ahead and duplicate or delete a profile using these two buttons at the bottom. If you wish to use that, then you can. Let's move over to the task page. So on the task page, once again, it's a very similar structure to the profile section. You can go and import and export tasks if you wish, and then your tasks as aggregated into store, product, profile, proxies, status and actions. And seeing as though we're at the top, let's go ahead and cover everything that's at the top here. So your total of tasks will update over here. You have this button that will go ahead and add capture solvers. Obviously based on captures that come through from your tasks, they will be sent to the solvers and you can go and solve it. You can search for your tasks by going over here, and you can create a new task by hitting this button. Now at the bottom you have the collective start button, the stop button, the edit button, and this will go ahead and edit tasks. And then you have the duplicate button as well as the delete button. So let's go ahead and create a task here. When we hit new task, it's going to ask for the store. So let's begin there. We have Supreme EU, US, Japan, signups, and Easy Supply. Those are the current supported stores at the time of recording this video. It may change in the future, but these are stores available. So it's also important to note that based on what you clicked, it goes ahead and updates what the task section is going to look like. But for now, we are configuring tasks for Supreme EU. We can then select the mode, so fast, safe, or browser. I'm going to go with fast. And you can go ahead and put in the keyword /PID. For this section, basically how the keywords are going to work, you're going to operate on a positive and negative keyword basis. I'm going to go ahead and explain how that works here. So for the first keyword, let's say for the purpose of this video, our first keyword is air. So you would go ahead and type in air, and let's say you want to go ahead and add another keyword after that. You hit comma, space, and then go ahead and put in your second keyword, and you can continue this process based on how many keywords you want to go and enter. So let's say if I want force, then obviously that would be positive air and positive force. So your task would look for those keywords based on everything else you put in, like your category, the color, the size, which we will get into. But let's say you want to go ahead and put a negative keyword. All you want to do is put a dash before your keyword, and that will act as a negative keyword, and obviously the ones without a dash would be a positive keyword. So I'm going to go through the rest of this section, then we're actually going to go ahead and configure a task to run on a product on Supreme's website that's currently in stock. So let's go ahead and delete everything. Let's go ahead and delete everything out of here and move over to size. So when you go ahead and select your size, you have a bunch of options here. Pretty simple. You go ahead and select the one that applies to your task. You have color. You go ahead and enter the color here, whether that's blue, red, white, green, whatever color it is. Then you have a category. Obviously you go ahead and select the appropriate category. You select your profile, so you have either option to select all or the video test. I'm going to hit video test. Then for your proxies, it will ask you to go ahead and select a proxy group. Alternatively, if you leave this empty, then it will run on your local host. So just be careful when you're running tasks. Don't run too many on your local host. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to go ahead and utilize my video test group. And then you have a timer. This is once again optional. If you wish to go ahead and use this, then you can. So for the purpose of this video, I've gone ahead and singled out an item on the Supreme website that's currently in stock, so I can use for this video. It is the camo iPhone case, and we're going to go for it in blue. So let's keep this in mind. Obviously the size is 11, that is referring to the iPhone 11 Pro, but let's keep in mind that the name of the item is camo iPhone case, and it is the blue camo that we are going to be going for. So let's go ahead and configure everything for this task. For size, I'm going to go random. For color, I'm going to type in blue. And then for the category, it resides within accessories. The rest is fine. I don't want to use the timer. The mode's fine. The store's fine. For the keywords, we have to keep in mind that it is the camo iPhone case. So we type in camo. Then we type in iPhone, and then I'm going to type in case. So obviously you guys could probably even get away with camo on iPhone, but I've gone ahead and done that. So everything matches the item we actually want to go for. And the final thing to cover is how many tasks you want to create. So obviously as this goes up, more tasks are created. As this goes down, less. And actually you can actually type in the amount of tasks you want as well. But I want to stick to 1. Let's hit the save button. Once you hit the save button, it will go ahead and create the task in the background. As you guys can see, Supreme EU fast mode, the product is there, blue, and obviously the size is there, the profile is there, the proxies we are using there, the status is currently idling because we have yet to go ahead and do anything. The actions is start, edit. So if I make an edit, it will go ahead and edit the task and delete the task as well. And obviously you have the collective buttons, which I mentioned earlier down here. You can make changes if you wish, as you guys can see, and then you can go ahead and stop your tasks, start all your tasks, duplicate them, delete them. And then obviously the last thing to go ahead and do before we run this test task is set up our capture solver. So let's add a solver. Once you go ahead and add a solver, you can sign into your Google account, and then you can go ahead and put in a proxy. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in right now. So I've gone ahead and signed in, and as you guys can see, it will show my email there. So when I go to the capture section, I can hit this, and as you guys can see, it's going to bring up the capture solver with the beginning of the email there before it goes into gmail.com. So it is good for distinguishing against different capture solvers, just to see which email is doing well, which one isn't. You can swap out different ones. And then we have a few options here. We can put in a proxy and hit the tick button after we've done that if you wish to actually use a proxy. And then we have the V2, V3 and YT, which takes you to YouTube, so you can have a video playing in the background whilst you're doing this, but for the purpose of this video I'm going to stick with V2. So I've gone ahead and scaled out the bot here just for viewability, but this is what your typical setup is going to look like. You're going to have the task there, you can have the start button, the edit button, delete button. Like I said before, you're going to run through. Obviously you'd have way more tasks and way more capture solvers if you do want to get success, but this is roughly how you go ahead and set it all up so you guys can use Velox correctly. And the last few things before I go ahead and finish up this video, if you look on all the pages, one thing I forgot to mention is that your local computer time will be on the bottom left of the bot and the current version of the bot will be on the bottom right, so please keep that in mind. Okay, that will go ahead and conclude the overview of Velox on their new version that has just been recently released. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on post notifications to know the next time we upload. Next thing is that we do have the Cop.Supply in-stock server. If you wish to go and join that, the link to that is down below. And finally, if you wish to check out the written overview on the Cop.Supply website, I will leave the link to that down below as well.